Greetings, all you Jacks and Jennets out there, and thank you for tuning into your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's that time of week where we bring you the power rankings. You know what it is? We have Laskers do homework. We have Gingy who do homework. We have the power index. Give us what they feel are the top 10 teams, and that brings you your Donk Nation power rankings. So let's go ahead and start this. We'll tell you about the teams receiving votes that didn't make the top 10, and that would be the Cincinnati Bengals this week. Now let's get into it. Starting at 10, we have the Tennessee Titans, down 6 spots from last week, but still staying in the top 10. It's kind of funny. All teams in the top 10 were in last week's top 10. We also have the Kansas City Chiefs coming in at 9, where they were last week. Buffalo Bills staying pat at 8. Rams dropping a spot down to 7. Dallas dropping 3 spots down to 6, which means Baltimore's up 5 spots to become the new number 5 team. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up 1 to come in at 4. The New England Patriots up 4 spots to come in at number 3. And then the two teams seem to be battling out the only 2 teams to be number 1 in the ratings. The Green Bay Packers are coming in at 2, and the Arizona Cardinals are coming in at 1. I'll get into all those teams in their brief descriptions while I do the index that we're getting into. You'll see them appear in almost all of them at the top 10. I believe Tennessee just misses out in the top 10, but you'll hear us talk about them too. So let's start at the bottom. 32, winless Detroit Lions. Where else do they belong? 31's Jacksonville, a team not really figuring it out. 30's the Jets, coming off another win against the team just above them right now, which is the Houston Texans. And we got the Chicago Bears, downward trending. Atlanta Falcons got a win, and the way the NFC is right now, still have a chance of making the playoffs. Same with the next team up here, the Giants, but Daniel Jones is going to miss this week and have well. 25, you got Miami, and they're a lot better team when Tua plays. Then you got Seattle at 24, losing 2 straight games with Russ out there and just looking bad. Washington, 23, went into Seattle and won that game. I'm not sure what you called it, but that was a very ugly Monday night game. I didn't think it was very interesting to watch at all. 22, you got Carolina. Looks like the Cam Newton era honeymoon took a really bad turn this week. He just did not play good. 21, you got Pitt. What can you say? The team's just sliding. I know we love to talk about them. We're going to talk about them more maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend, but it's a team that needs to figure something out because they're just getting dominated on both sides of the line of scrimmage. 20, you have the Philadelphia Eagles. Team goes and pulls off 2 great wins and then just lays an absolute dud this week. Jalen Hurts just not a very consistent quarterback. 19, you got Minnesota. The injury to Cook could be huge to them, but they're not playing terrible football. 18, you got the Chargers, who will have an amazing win one week and then just not show up the next week like they did against Denver. 17, you got New Orleans. I mean, since losing Jameis, this team has just been on a free fall. Vegas comes in at 16 after a big Turkey Day win over Dallas for them. Cleveland comes in at 15 as that defense is still good, but that offense is starting to really hamper them. I know they've actually moved up on the power rankings, which is weird, but that's because the defense is putting up really good stats. I think it's back-to-back weeks they allowed less than 20 points. Denver all the way up to 14. I don't know what to make of Denver. Their offense is terrible, but their defense wins some games. They trade away their best defensive player, but the defense still stays good. Odd. Indy comes in at 13. Way too many turnovers, or they would have beat Tampa Bay. They actually, outside of turnovers, looked like the better team on the field this week. 12, you have San Francisco, and this team is looking good, starting to play good football, but starting to get into the meat of some tough games. Really make or break time for them. 11, you got Tennessee. Since the injury to Henry has not looked very good, and now they lost A.J. Brown. Tannehill's turning the ball over. Just not looking good, which is why they fall out of the top 10. Now let's get into the top 10. At number 10, we have the L.A. Rams. Another game this week against Green Bay where Rams fans are like, we're going to prove it. We're going to show you why we got Stafford. And Matthew Stafford and Detroit fans are just kind of laughing like, hey, you got me to win big games? Don't you know that's not what I do? And again, Stafford just didn't show up, and they better hope he shows up in the playoffs, or that's going to look like a terrible move to go out and get him. Number 9, we have Kansas City, whose defense has been playing great, is almost getting up to a point, our top 10 team in terms of points. They have a top 10 offense, starting to really turn around. Had a bye week, so nothing to say new about them, but team moving around. At number 8, we have the team I like to call the Horseshoe. That's the Baltimore Ravens. All this team does is win. I don't know how. They did it again. They did it ugly again against Cleveland on Sunday night, but this team wins football games. I mean, Lamar turns it over 4 times. They still win the game. 7, we got Cincinnati coming off a shellacking of the Pittsburgh Steelers and doing something that hasn't been done since 1990, and that's completing a 3rd straight win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boomer Esiason, you no longer hold that honor. Number 6, you got the Cowboys. I know they're missing both their receivers, but they have to find a way to win that game against Vegas. Now, here's a fun one. We don't have a number 5 team because we have 2 number 4 teams. That'd be the Buffalo Bills, who are still loved because of secondary stats, because great offense, great defense in terms of points, and a good turnover margin, but just can't seem to win the football games. And now, looking up at New England in the division, and Green Bay Packers, who, even with their offensive explosion, still a bottom half of the league in points per game's offense. Not something you expect out of Aaron Rodgers, but right now a top 5 defense playing with them. Maybe this is what Green Bay needs to get to the Super Bowl. The defense playing better than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's worked for a lot of other quarterbacks in the past. Looking at you, Peyton. At number 3, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They won their game. Can't say anything else. They're top scoring offense in the league. The defense is starting to get more healthy. Watch out, people. Number 2, got New England. The best defense in points allowed. Mac Jones getting better every week. That huge... I remember all the analysts saying, New England spending money's not how you win. That's not what New England did. This isn't the New England way. Well, you know what? Belichick knew he needed to add more talent when he didn't have Tom Brady. And it's looking more and more like the winners might be the regular season winners this time. And number 1, of course, they didn't play, so they didn't do anything to hurt themselves. Arizona, we got some weird talk about Kingsbury going to a college school. I don't see that happening. I don't think he's going to go to Oklahoma. I mean, why would you leave Kyler Murray and what you got going on at Arizona? Who, by the way, Murray should finally be back and healthy. That's your Donk Nation Power Index. Let me know what you think about it. I'm going to give you Gingy and Lasker's top 10 now because they do the homework. We need to let you know. Let's start with Lasker's this week. We'll go up. We go Tennessee, Kansas, Dallas, Rams, Bucks, Ravens, Patriots. How's it going to go? 2-1. Packers, Cardinals. You know what it is. Lasker's good rankings out there. Can't argue with any of those teams. Although I would have liked Cincinnati to slip into some of the rankings because, we did see him slack our team. But Gingy starts it out much the same. Bottom 2, Tennessee, Buffalo, different order though. Then the next 2, also different order, but it's Dallas, Kansas City. Then Rams, same as Lasker's. Baltimore at 5 for Gingy, New England at 4, Tampa at 3, Arizona at 2, and he has the Green Bay Packers as number 1. Can't argue there. They had a big win over the Rams, showed some things, put up some points, made some turnovers against a good team. Those are all our power rankings. Those are all our power indexes. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know I don't do shout-outs in this one, but I do have some programming news. We might be doing the show tomorrow. That's Thursday for everybody, depending on when you're watching it. And the main flagship, Steelers Talk. Thursday, maybe not Friday, I won't be here. Maybe Saturday, hopefully leaning towards Thursday. I don't know. You'll see it when it comes up on there. Tell us what you think about these power rankings, Donk Nation. I appreciate that you tune in and listen to them because, hey, maybe they're not the greatest thing. But let me know if there's something you want me to focus on more during the power ranking show. Maybe a little more of a recap of the games. Oh, how about the biggest movers? I totally spaced it. Something I've been asked to do, so I'm going to put it in there. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers dropping 6 this week, and we have the San Francisco 49ers going up 8 as our biggest movers on the Power Index. I do, again, appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. Steeler Nation, it's make or break time this week against Baltimore. Make sure you wave them all that you can. Donk Nation, thank you all for tuning in. You'll be hearing from us later.